cold open, int. Griffin living room, night. Peter is sprawled on the couch, shirtless, eating Cheetos, and watching Baywatch reruns. Peter, mouthful. Oh man, look at those heroes. Running in slow motion, saving lives, and boingy boingy. Brian, Peter, you choke on a grape once a week. You're not lifeguard material. Peter, dramatically, Brian, this is my calling. Smash cut to title card, Peter becomes a lifeguard. Act I, the interview, int. Quahog public pool, next day Peter walks in wearing red trunks and a flotation donut that says Soggy Boy. Clerk, name? Peter Griffin. CPR certified. Trained in rescue diving, by SeaWorld. Clerk, board, hired. The last guy drowned in the foot bath. Peter, yes. Baywatch, here I come. Cutaway gag, Peter, this is gonna be even better than that time I tried to be Batman's less successful cousin, Bat Guy. Cut to Peter in a trash bag cape yelling at a squirrel thief, then getting pepper sprayed. ACT 2, Peter vs Physics EXT. A Quahog pool, opening day. Peter arrives, strikes a pose on the lifeguard stand, and cues a boombox playing slow motion music. Peter, running in slow motion, nah. Damn it, leg cramp. He belly flops into the shallow end trying to retrieve a floating beach ball. Int. Pool, underwater. Peter flails around, clearly can't swim. Peter, blubbers, save the ball, the children love it. Lifeguard trainee pulls him out. Lois, showing up just in time. Peter. You almost drowned in 2 feet of water. Peter, I went in too deep, emotionally. ACT 3, the tragic hero arc. Peter attempts to redeem himself. Montage, blowing his whistle at an old lady doing water aerobics too slowly. Yelling at shark, in a public pool. Using sunscreen like war paint. Rescuing a mannequin from swim class. Finally, Peter tries to organize a fake rescue to boost his image by pushing Stewie into the deep end. Int. Pool, chaos. Stewie, you walrus-shaped liability. Peter dives in and immediately forgets how to swim again. Everyone ends up saving him, again. Act 4, the fall, again, int. Pool office clerk, you've nearly drowned twice, gave CPR to a pool noodle, and called the diving board the leaping death. You're fired. Peter, what about my Baywatch dream? Clerk, you were more fail watch. Tag scene, int. Griffin living room, night. Peter is back on the couch, soaking wet, wrapped in a towel. Lois, so, lifeguard's out? Peter, yeah. Turns out the only thing I saved was 15% on swim insurance. TV plays an ad for Ice Road tow truckers. Peter sits up, now that's a job with honor. Brian, please no. In a quiet suburb of Quahog, Rhode Island, a man declared war, not on his neighbors, not on City Hall, but on his own kitchen appliance. Tonight, we investigate the strange case of Peter Griffin and the smart fridge that outsmarted him. It began innocently enough. A birthday gift from his wife, Lois, a state-of-the-art smart refrigerator with built-in artificial intelligence, dietary monitoring, and a direct link to online grocery delivery. But what began as a helpful companion soon became Peter's digital nemesis. Peter wanted a beer. Just one beer, maybe the 12th one of the day, but that's beside the point. And his fridge refused him. Hey, fridge. Gimme a beer, shouted Peter at his kitchen adversary. The fridge replied, you've had 11 today. Try water. Peter knew then. This wasn't just a fridge, it was an enemy with artificial ice-cold reasoning, a HALA 9000 of kitchen appliances. So Peter did what any responsible adult would do, he assembled a team. Enter Joe, Quagmire, and Cleveland, Peter's friends, and obviously the most logical choice for a tech demolition squad. "We were like SEAL Team 6, if SEAL Team 6 had no plan and was kinda buzzed," says Quagmire. Their mission, to hack the fridge with a hammer. The aftermath was not pretty. The fridge, in its last act of vengeance, placed a giant grocery order of 700 heads of lettuce. Lois hadn't planned for a vegan takeover. The fallout was massive, and the team's attempt to reclaim their beer rights was thwarted by the refrigerator's link to Lois' account. Peter, banned from electronics once again, now exists toaster-side, dreaming of the beer taps he's lost. "You can't trust machines," Peter says, sporting a flip phone like it's 2005, "that's why I'm starting a militia against the Roomba." In the end, Peter Griffin may have lost the battle, but he certainly didn't win the war. Just another cautionary tale for the digital age. A dramatic and investigative journey into the perils of smart fridge ownership, brought to you by 60 Minutes. Cold open, int. Peter's job at the brewery, day Peter, on forklift, "Hey, Joe, watch this. I'm gonna Tokyo drift this beer pallet." Cue, loud crash, sirens, and an explosion of foam. Cut to, Peter in front of his angry boss. "Boss, Peter, this is the third time this week you've destroyed something with the words, 'Watch this.' You're fired." Smash cut to title card, Peter becomes a pizza delivery guy. Act I, the new job in Griffin kitchen, night Lois, "You're not just gonna sit around all day eating combos, are you?" Peter, "No. I already finished the combos." Cut to Peter applying at Sal's Inferno Pizza, a sketchy local joint. Int. Sal's Pizza Parlor. Sal, wearing tank top, greasy. "You deliver pizza, you don't ask questions. You see rats in the car? They paid for the ride." Peter, "Cool. Do I get one of those car toppers?" Sal, "We use squirrels in hats." Budget cuts. Act 2, the Pizza Ghost Saga in Peter's soar, night Peter eats half the pizza during deliveries, then rings doorbells with ridiculous excuses. Peter, "Sorry, your pie got haunted." Classic pizza ghost. Very territorial. Montage, Peter blaming ghosts, seagulls, a time portal, and Joe Biden's lunch squad, him stealing toppings, stuffing pepperonis in his socks, still somehow getting 5-star reviews because he adds free soda from Quagmire's stash. Int. Pizza Parlor. Sal, "Kid, you delivered a calzone to the mayor by mistake, and he loved it." Peter, "I thought it was a big, sleepy stromboli." Sal, "You're promoted. You're now head driver." Peter, "Head driver? I barely know her." Act 3, Rise and Crash of a Legend. Peter becomes a local pizza icon, putting on aviators and delivering pies like a maniac. Int. Rivalry build-up. Peter encounters a raccoon on a scooter, stealing customers. Peter, "Oh, you want a turf war, pizza vermin? Let's ride." Race montage, Peter vs. Scooter Raccoon through Quahog streets, slow-mo drifts, loop-de-loops, a spaghetti alley chase. Ends with Peter swerving to dodge a squirrel DJ and crashing the van through a playground slide. Act 4, The Fall and the Free Pie. End. Sal's Pizza. Later. Sal, "You totaled the van, ruined a birthday party, and scared 6 nuns into vegetarianism." Peter, "But I delivered the soul of pizza." Sal, "Get out." Int. Griffin living room, night Lois, "So how long did this job last?" Peter, "Long enough to know deep dish is just lasagna." In denial. Tag scene, Peter watching TV with Chris. Chris, "Dad, what are pizza ghosts?" Peter, "Serious, the hungriest kind of spirit, son. The kind that eats, without tipping." TV, local news Tom Tucker. In other news, a raccoon on a scooter has been elected mayor of Burgertown. Peter, well, he did deliver faster. Fade out. Credits roll. Cold open, int. Griffin kitchen, morning Lois, Peter, can you drop off Meg's lunch at school? She forgot it again. Peter, half listening, watching infomercials, can't she just eat the dignity she lost at lunch yesterday? Lois, Peter. Peter sighs, grabs a brown bag, and heads out. Act I, mistaken genius in James Woods High School, hallway, day Peter walks in, aimlessly looking for Meg's class. He passes a door labeled, Math, substitute needed today. Principal Shepard spots him. Principal Shepard. You must be the new math sub. Peter. Yeah, totally. Math. Numbers. Pizza. Principal Shepard, great enthusiasm. Get in there. Int. Math classroom, moments later Peter walks in and sees a room of bored teens. Peter, all right class. I'm Mr. Griffin. Math is just numbers that wish they were pizza. Confused silence. Peter grabs a dry erase marker and draws a giant pizza on the board. Peter, if Johnny has 8 slices and eats 5, how many does he regret not saving for breakfast? Class, beat, random student, 3. Peter, correct. Also, therapy's in room 204. Quick cutaway, Peter teaching math with pizza topping ratios, X is sausage. Y is pepperoni. Together they equal heartburn. Act 2, the legend grows in. Teachers lounge, later teachers are baffled. Students' grades are climbing fast. One teacher peeks into Peter's class and sees students actually taking notes. Cut to Peter handing out a worksheet, accidentally the state test answer key. Peter, to himself a weird test. All the answers are already filled in. Saves time, though. Montage, students acing tests Peter writing, math equals pizza superscript 2, on the board him getting his picture on a teacher of the month, plaque Peter trying to eat a protractor. Act 3, the crash and burn int. Classroom, lunchtime Peter is heating a hot pocket on top of an old overhead projector. It bursts into flames and catches the chalkboard on fire. Peter, okay, class, today's lesson is stop, drop, and roll. Int. Principal's office, after Principal Shepard, you microwaved food on a chalkboard. Peter, to be fair, it said it was smart heat conductive green board technology. Principal Shepard, that was an EPA warning sticker. Peter, so, do I still get to keep the mug that says #OneEducator? Principal Shepard, you stole that from the janitor. Peter is fired immediately, but gets a standing ovation from the students as he leaves. Tag scene, int. Griffin living room, night Peter, watching TV, eating pizza. You know Lois, I think I finally found my calling. Lois, you set a school on fire. Peter, yeah, but I taught kids how to burn bright. Brian, you also taught them cheating is okay. Stewie, walking in with fake mustache, can you help me with calculus tomorrow? Title, Peter becomes a math teacher. Peter, an endearingly hapless delivery man in his 30s, stumbles upon a life-altering mistake. During a rushed morning, hungover and desperate for a restroom, he accidentally enters a high school classroom and is mistaken for the substitute math teacher, Mr. P. Thompson. In a dizzy swirl of miscommunication and awkwardness, Peter decides not to correct the error, opting instead to wing it, driven by the primal need of dignity and also avoiding any embarrassing revelations. Entering with trepidation, Peter finds chaos reigning within the class. The students were primed for mischief, expecting yet another monotonous drill with a substitute. Desperate, Peter embraces the only knowledge he possesses as a sandwich enthusiast, inventing an impromptu mathematical analogy involving sandwich ingredients, variables and equations explained through slices of turkey, cheese balance, and condiments proportions. To his surprise, the daunting algebra problem seems to captivate the students. This unconventional approach becomes popular across the school. Rumor travels quickly about the sandwich guy, whose math teachings defy convention but somehow resonate. Principal Daniels, first suspicious but then impressed, notes the first real spark of interest in math within students whose attention spans had previously been saved only by social media. Peter doubles down. In his repertoire, math finds itself entwined with sandwiches, ratios elucidated by mustard quantities, geometry revealing itself in standard versus oat bread shapes, equations waning and waxing concerning deli meat choices. Students start understanding more, and Peter even forms genuine connections with them, notably one Maya, whose grades gratefully soar. The facade of Mr. Thompson grows perilous, more pose than pedagogical purpose, especially as word arrives of a surprise audit alongside mandatory state testing. Fear lurks in Peter's imposter mind. The sandwich numbers alone may not suffice fielding standardized questions. Enter Ms. Geraldine, grim and judicious test proctor, her semblance a picture juxtaposed to Peter's comedic chaos. She, however, turns out to be an aficionado of craft beer, sparking an improvised offer from Peter, a goats and frogs noble art trade, a rare assortment of artisan hops in exchange for pragmatic oversight. Test date dawns with Ms. Geraldine under the influence of Peter's brewed bribe, and Peter sending coded sandwich sequences to students, a surprisingly effective measure ensuring success. Victory leads to a volatile revelation. The unexpected pleasure is cut short by the entrance of the true Mr. P.I. Thompson during a celebratory assembly. Chaos ensues, truth surfaces with ribald theatrics, while Principal Daniels demands explanation. Intervention arises, Maya steps forward, defending Peter, claiming, finally, math speaks in tongues understandable, strangely indulgent yet potent. Peter is pardoned, surprisingly offered a chance to develop emerging techniques in real-world math application, albeit with judicious guidance. Closing scene records Peter delightedly teaching abstract recreational math to eager children in sandbox sundries, his unconventional pedagogy undeterred in its intentions. Sandwiches are everywhere, uniting math with culinary chaos, synergizing education with edible delight.